Hello my friends, Wolf Tiger here, and it's time for another fine episode of The Things That Make You Go, In the news today, something really caught my eye. It was yet another story about a quote-unquote deranged gamer. The news story reads as follows. A 19-year-old Utah man was arrested last week for wrecking his stepfather's motorcycle following an Xbox-related outburst. As reported by the St. George News, Alec Young's stepfather returned home to find his son playing video games. He asked him to stop, gave him some time to do so, and went out to get the mail. When he returned, Alec was still playing, and so he shut off the console himself. Then things took a turn for the worse. According to a police account of the incident, Young began screaming at his stepdad and threw two separate remotes at him. The stepfather then left the house and went across the street to call the police. At the same time, Young went outside and began to strike his stepfather's 2009 custom Harley-Davidson FLF with a knife, according to the report, which estimates the value of the bike at $40,000. The report goes on to explain that Young then got into his 2000 Nissan Maxima, backed out of the driveway, and proceeded to drive into the motorcycle all the way into the wall of the garage. The motorcycle sustained damage everywhere, the police report stated. The bike's front forks, fender, frame, and gas tank were all bent, totaling around $25,000 in damages, it says. And this is where the story gets really interesting. When approached by the police, Young said that he acted out by throwing the remotes at his stepfather and then was enraged when he attacked the motorcycle. He also reportedly told police that he did not take his recommended doses of anti-anxiety and antidepressant medication. So there you have it. And we all know how the media is going to spin this. Crazy gamer attacks his stepdad. But obviously there's more to the story. There has to be. After all, he admitted that he's on medication. Sure, he said antidepressant and anti-anxiety. But there has to be more, especially if his stepfather is afraid of him. Let me explain. The stepfather chose not to confront him, not to stop him, or defuse the situation, but rather run away and go across the street to use the phone, not his own phone. So what does that tell me? There's got to be some kind of history there. Perhaps some kind of history of violence. Otherwise, why would he be afraid? And why would this kid be on medication in the first place? Also, what's more dangerous in this picture? A guy on medication with access to a video game system, or weapons and a car? I'll let you decide that one for yourself. Also, it's pretty obvious that this young man has had a lot of problems before this video game incident. Otherwise, he wouldn't need to be on such medications. So if this gets spun to yet another case of violent video games being linked to home violence, I'm going to be greatly disappointed. We all know for a fact that violent video games, and video games in general, are the target of media right now. What's next? Are they going to start looking at what people ate before they did something like this and say, well, Hot Pockets caused him to go evil? This is all so ridiculous. The young man had problems long before this incident, so video games have nothing to do with it. So I don't know why these kind of stories have to be reported and then say, oh, an Xbox related incident. As always, we'll keep our eyes open and see what happens next. That's all for now. Peace out.